Okay, so let's look at Bitcoin and Mara stock because there is a potential change of trend in the short term, and it could just be a test of support. So I want to break it down, give you guys my opinions, and then, um, what I'm looking at going forward after that. But I am recording this quite late. It's like about to be midnight. I was out uh, recording some more footage for another car vlog video. It's quite funny. I was struggling to put the roof back on the Corvette. Uh, so I recorded that, and you can tell the frustration in my face. Um, Trying to put that roof back on it and struggling, and then eventually I somewhat did it. But that's for tomorrow. I'll upload that. But basically, remember guys, everything I say in this video is just my own personal opinion. It is not me telling you what to do, so please do your own research and due diligence before taking any trades. But I did open up, like I said I would, on yesterday's video. We finally had a dip, so here it is. I opened up just one transaction, 50K invested into IBIT to get a swing trade started. I plan to add more, and I'm going to explain to you guys how I'm going to do that in just a moment, and then we'll jump into Mara stock. But simple, right? We started uptrending in Bitcoin. We had a lower, um, a higher low did form, but it was lower than anticipated. So I was being very cautious here. And then as the last 2 weeks basically played out, I was showing you guys a few little day trades I was taking just to keep participating in micro support being respected within early morning trading hours. But I didn't want to open up any significant short-term swing trades until the chart really tells me that it's at least attempting to do so. And of course, position sizing is a big focus on all of my trades. So basically, we pushed higher and made a new all-time high very recently, and I kept following the price higher with this retracement, basically from the swing low right here to the swing high. The swing low was lower than expected, so I'm basing this retracement area off of this one instead of the overall low right here. And we are still working towards the 128K price target, which is represented by this green line, because I don't want to move this over. I'd rather just draw that. But right now, basically, there isn't a whole lot I was able to work with because I stick with my how do you say, my trading rules very closely. And my trading rules say if we don't have any reasonable like small retracements within an uptrend, I cannot create any extensions. It's just a way for me to be conservative and just not over leverage myself when it comes to something that just doesn't fall in line with what makes sense. So I created this one, which it did go up towards, but it broke a bit above it a little bit more. It was based off of this one, so this is no longer significant, and it did max it out, but it didn't find overall resistance there. We ended up finding resistance up here below the 128K target, so there's still potential momentum higher. So the reason I opened up this IBIT position today is there's two ways this can play out. I can either let the position play out as originally planned, which is I'm accumulating early below the 120 moving average. I said that's when I will open up IBIT. If we can hit that 120 moving average, we did. So I accumulated down here. The reason I have this blue area is we have a move right here. So we have a push down that created a lower high right here before the price broke the swing low. The reason that's significant is because if you see a retracement, it maxed it out perfectly and didn't actually break above it before it broke down. So that's perfect for me to want to draw an extension. The idea of this extension is as we move down potentially into this retracement support area from 115.4K to 120.1K, the idea is that I would like to ideally see the price just find weakness early before short-term resistance, which is simply a retracement from the swing high to the swing low. What this means is that we can see, so we came down, we can see a corrective move higher before it comes down into the support area, and then from here, ideally, we can see the price fluctuate. It won't go up, right? It most likely won't go up straight, but it will be a fluctuation or we can keep eye on short-term support and see if we keep respecting them, and then micro extensions that I can draw to see if we continue to push up higher with the opportunity of hitting 128k. So the reason I am accumulating early is because I've said this before, I like to trade ETFs, not spot Bitcoin. So I'd rather be in early, conservatively focused on position sizing before we go down lower. So the idea here is that I am starting off with IBIT. If we can come down and actually hit and break the 0.5 retracement, I would like to accumulate BitU to complement the IBIT position. So I'm getting in early in case we see close market hours moves higher. We could see potentially tomorrow during open market hours just a retracement upwards into resistance. If so, I'm just going to close out the IBIT position and lock in a small profit. And then just wait to see if we can break this swing high, or if we can come down and then I'll reaccumulate down here. At that point, if I do close it out with a small profit, if we go up here, the idea is I will open up IBIT down here instead of BitU. And then I'll wait for, smaller picture resistances to break, and then I'll add BitU on top of that. But if we do go down before hitting this area, then I would like to complement IBIT with BitU. It's as simple as that. I'm looking for support somewhere within this area on a different, not just on the 1 hour candle, but like on the 2 and the 4 hour candles. There's some imbalance here that could potentially support this area. But the idea here is that we can start to see some consolidation potentially around this 120 moving average before we go down lower. If we go down lower into this area, it won't just be an opportunity for me to accumulate some leverage longs to complement the IBIT, but it gives me an opportunity to see the price actually have a bit more of a proper retracement factoring this whole move that will make the next leg up more significant, in my opinion. But we are finally seeing, I've been waiting for it, and we're finally seeing that retracement down, so I started buying. Again, I'm either going to close out IBIT early here and wait to see if I can reaccumulate here, lock in a small profit, come down. But ideally, if it can just come down sooner rather than later, then I can actually continue to grow that position at prices that make sense to me. So that's what I'm looking at. Again, 128k next target. Us seeing a higher low form and then a significant break over this zone right here around 118k is very nice. It's in my opinion more likely than not that we'll find a higher low at any point and actually go up higher. Now you got to remember there's some macroeconomic events coming up soon. If you look up a U.S. economic calendar, just keep an eye on those FOMC and any potential data that's coming out as well. It can really give you a better understanding on whether or not we could potentially be factoring in an announcement. Last time I did say the FOMC was most likely factored in, and we saw a pretty significant dip afterwards. So patience really pays off. But at this point, we still have more time, so this could just be a corrective move, and that's how I'm treating it. If I am proven wrong, if we start seeing this area get broken down, I would instead be using some SLs at 115k just to reduce risk and then reaccumulate at a better opportunity. But as of right now, the trend is up, so I'm treating it as it is. I was patient enough, so I was able to accumulate or start the accumulation down here. And I would like to accumulate more, but we'll see how it goes. The plan is, there's two plans, and I already explained to you guys what I'm looking for. So with Mara stock, we recently hit, and I talked about it in a very much soon, a previous video that I think was yesterday's or the day before. It was probably yesterday, I don't remember. But the idea here is that if you guys are new, I like to use red in both in Bitcoin and Mara and a lot of other. I want to talk about MSTR soon. I haven't talked about it in a minute, but I do want to talk about MSTR soon. If I remember, I'll do it tomorrow. But the idea is that the focus is more on Bitcoin and Mara right now because these red areas are accumulation. Is an opportunity to capture more upside. So down here, there was an accumulation zone with take profit being the value gap. We had a second swing trade opportunity, two opportunities to accumulate within the accumulation price range, with take profit being this extension. And then we had another opportunity, and this one actually played out a lot quicker than I thought it would. But we had an accumulation zone from 1430 to just over, what is that? Just over 1740 accumulation, and then extension being the start, or the extension being the start of an opportunity to lock in profit. And I kept saying, don't be greedy. We can see a lot of fluctuations. There is opportunity for the rest of these fib levels to be hit, but I kept saying, unlike this one, the moment we break over 20, it's very important, at least in my opinion, to not be greedy and to actually reward yourself and lock in profit. Put that in your pocket rather than being hopeful. So we had a nice accumulation, very nice percentage gap here. I mean, roughly, I'm gonna be conservative with it because so it's 20%, pretty nice spread there, conservatively measured. But the idea is that we did hit take profit at $20. So hopefully you guys, if you didn't lock in profit, there was recently an opportunity to, another chance to actually do so. But I am looking for some weakness, because now, since we already hit take profit starting at 20, we can, even though we can see the price to go up higher, I would like to actually focus on waiting for a decent opportunity to actually start accumulating some shorts. There is still an uptrend, as you can see. I mean, we stopped right here. We didn't make another higher high, but we haven't made a lower low yet. We'll see how the market does tomorrow, how Mara stock does tomorrow. But the idea here is that it is time to reduce position sizing, locking in profit, because we came out of accumulation very nicely into this zone. But the point is, again, I don't believe it's time to be greedy with Mara right now. So I'm waiting to see if there's a better indication of a top forming. Once I do, I'll let you guys know. I mean, I talked about the IBIT trade a little bit in the Discord today. Not the trade, but the opening the trade. But the idea here is that, again, probably not a good idea to be greedy or hopeful. I'm gonna let this play out. I'm gonna let the price do its thing, see how the structure unfolds, see if there's indication of a top actually forming. So then I can look at shorting this. And if I short it, I'm only gonna use a few contracts, like anywhere between 10 to 15 contracts of puts, probably no more than 2 weeks out of expiration. But when I do open them, I'll let you guys know, and I'll probably let the Discord know first before YouTube. Is just faster. But yeah, as of right now, I can definitely, excuse me. Wow. So, but yeah, I'm just being patient with this. I'm looking for a shorting opportunity with some puts. No more than 2 weeks out, but when I do open them, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not going to be aggressive with it. But the idea here is now, we have a potential for another higher low forming. But ideally, I want to see this break and us trading back down here within this discounted range. But regardless of that, again, we don't actually have another swing high formed. So we do still have the opportunity to, push this area a bit more, rather that's now or a retracement before we go up higher. So that's why I'm being more patient. I'm being patient. I'm looking at shorting. I'm not interested in longs in this anymore. But just because I'm not interested in longs and I'm more interested in shorting, does not mean I'm going to force a trade right away. I want to wait for a good indication. Patience is key. Waiting for a proper setup. Well, it just depends if your trading rules are similar to that or not. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, the summary for Mars, again, it's not a time to really be greedy. We hit take profit, the start of the extension area in blue at $20. So there's no reason to there's just no reason to be hopeful or greedy, right? If if the trade played out as planned, cool. Now I'm waiting for the next trade opportunity, ideally a short. We'll see how it goes. And then with Bitcoin, let's see if we can just see the price come down instead of hitting this area, because if it hits this area from 122.6 122,674 to 124,160. If we go into this area, I will be just closing out, taking a small profit on IBIT, and then waiting to see if we break the swing high or actually come down into this area. But if instead we can come into this area and be, instead of hitting this, it'll be better because I can actually, add more to the position as we approach an accumulation zone. And that's how I've always been approaching this. Every accumulation zone, I always like to get in early because, again, trading hours. But that's how I do it. And we still have the target up here. No indication of a bear market starting yet. And well, we're still quite early in October Q4 as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.